Hey guys, how's it going? It's 8-Bit Eric. Welcome back to the channel. So I got to get another hands-on preview of Immortals Fenyx Rising. It's coming out very, very soon. Nintendo Switch, Xbox, and PlayStation. And I gotta say, Ubisoft, pretty impressed with this game. So if you don't know what Immortals Fenyx Rising is, I did cover it on video last month. I got to play an early preview build, and it started me at a different place this time. So I think I actually got to start from the beginning of the game, from what it appeared, because this time it allowed me to create a character. I chose to randomize, and then it gave me a starting point, and from there my character went on a adventure. Now, Immortals Fenyx Rising is Greek mythology based, so you'll see references to Zeus, Hades, Prometheus, different characters that are in Greek mythology, and I thought that was cool for the setting as a whole. You don't really see Greek mythology used in video games too much, and basically what the gist of this game is that your character, it's almost like Breath of the Wild. If I was to say that, this would be like Ubisoft's answer to Breath of the Wild, because the world is huge. I played for 4 hours this time and barely even made it even on the cusp of it fully exploring the one section that I was able to fully explore through. So you spend a lot of time exploring the area. There's a story line, there was like a quest that you were able to follow on this demo. The demo I played actually for the first couple hours had me working on getting my character's basic upgrades and movements, and basically teaching you how to use the game. Eventually you get like a pair of wings that allows you to hang glide, and you can hang, you know, in the air and glide across from cliff to cliff. It also gave me my weapons like the bow and my swords, and introduced you to the basic combat and stuff. And just like in Legend of Zelda or any kind of 3D action adventure game, the combat mechanics were actually pretty solid. So you get surrounded by a certain amount of enemies, you confront them in real time on the field, and you lock in and you decide which method is best, either a ranged attack or melee attacks. And each enemy has unique types of attacks and stuff like that. You can watch out for their weaknesses, you can parry them away, you can even reflect some of their weapons back at them. And you know, I'm a big fan of like Legend of Zelda and stuff, and I feel, you know, it might not be completely fair to compare Immortals Fenyx Rising to a Breath of the Wild or Legend of Zelda game, but it's not a bad thing when I say that it plays a lot like that. It's honestly a good thing. It shows how well put together and solid this game could be, because let's be honest, at first glance people might dismiss this as some generic Zelda clone that has some kind of like generic cheesy looking characters and graphics and everything, but I would say you'd be a fool to even dismiss this game at all. I sat down for 4 solid hours on this game, and before you know it, I was like, wow, 4 hours has already gone by, because total time sink in the best possible way. Just like in Zelda, you have different abilities that help you access hard to reach points that were not accessible at all. You have puzzle solving elements in order to open gates. You have a mount, which is basically like a horse. You can, in this preview, I got on top of like a big deer-like creature and was able to use them to travel throughout the world. And as you unlock certain areas and stuff like that, you're able to fast travel from like point A to point B. Let's say you find some kind of side quest and this person wants you to go back to another part in the game. You're lucky enough to where you can fast travel if needed, so you don't have to go far and whatever like that. Now, I will say there were moments in the game, battle-wise, where it was very difficult to fight, especially with Achilles. He was a tough customer, but luckily you are able to upgrade your character. So this is where I'd say the game outshines Breath of the Wild, in that your character is actually fully upgradable and customizable, which is pretty awesome. It's really in depth as far as skill trees go for your character's abilities. You can upgrade nearly every different facet of your character, from the range attacks to the melee attacks to their stamina to their health. All sorts of different ways to upgrade through training. So you get like a basic content hub, which is like the Hall of Champions, and you're able to work out your character to give them more strength, stamina, and health. Then you can upgrade your attacks. You can even upgrade your armor and your weapons. And then on top of that, you're able to upgrade other avenues of stuff that you unlock once the game progresses. You can even take on additional challenges. So there's a lot more customization for your character in this game than Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild led. So I would say this is actually a lot more RPG heavy than Breath of the Wild. And I actually like that because you can make your character wear whatever armor and use whatever weapons that you see fit, that you find, and you're like, okay, I found this bad helmet, I'm gonna go ahead and put it on, upgrade it strong, you know, to where it's super hardcore and super powerful and gives you an edge, and your character just looks amazing. And even just being able to customize your character's appearance with their hair, their eyes, their skin pigment, and stuff like that, it makes this game have much more of a bigger feel than Breath of the Wild would. Now, don't get me wrong, Legend of Zelda is my favorite series of all time, but Immortals Fenyx Rising, just sitting down and playing this game for a few hours definitely hyped me up on this. So don't sleep on Ubisoft when you see this game, because I guarantee you this game might be that big sleeper hit. And this is just me playing 4 hours of a preview build that wasn't completely accessible, that wasn't completely finished. But compared to this month when I played it and last month, it was an entirely different demo. The month before, it started me out in the middle of a quest already, and I was already thrown into the middle of the field, didn't get a proper introduction. This one gave me the introduction to the game, showed me like the basic tutorials of it, taught me the combat, put me in the world slowly but surely, and felt more like a complete version of the game. In fact, I would say the game had a lot of differences in it compared to last month's, to where I was like, wow, okay, so they changed this, they added this, they made this happen, and I think this is going to be a fantastic game. So Immortals Fenyx Rising, I know it's kind of all over the place with this preview build and this first impressions. I kind of don't want to spoil too much or clue you guys in on way too much that goes on in this game, because a game like this is definitely one of those games that you want to set aside, you know, 40, 50, 60 hours to just mindlessly explore, look at every nook and cranny of this game, you know, check out all the different challenges, the side quest, and the missions, and just get all the different armor that you can. It's almost like a mishmash of a lot of different games that I've played throughout the recent years. You know, it has the open world elements, the combat elements, the Legend of Zelda elements, the puzzle elements, the exploration, and the RPG elements. So this could be Ubisoft's banger hit of the next series of games that are coming out. So I've played on my PC. I'm looking forward to seeing how this does perform on consoles, more specifically like the Nintendo Switch, because that's my favorite console. But so far, I like what I'm seeing on it. So special thanks to Ubisoft for giving me a chance to check out another preview build of Immortals Fenyx Rising. Have you guys been keeping an eye on this game? Let me know your thoughts on it down below in the description or in the comments. I'll see you guys very soon. Thanks a lot. Subscribe if you haven't already. Peace out.